Hi everyone, today I have here Louie. Yes, Louie, and we would like to talk to you today about the importance of getting your cats and your dog's nutrition right from as young an age as possible. So the usual process when we get a new kitten or a new puppy is that we take them to the vet to get, their vaccinations, and the vet will usually recommend some food to us. And that food is normally some packaged food that they have sitting out in the front entrance of the veterinary surgery. And usually it will be food for puppy stage or kitten stage. Now, then you go home and you feed that food without asking any questions, and then as they grow, you might then change to an adult formula in maybe the same brand or in another brand. So the problem with this approach is that the foods that are being recommended are generally not health promoting. So they're usually very heavily processed. So if you think about dried kibble, for example, if you think about the fresh ingredients that goes into that food and how they get it into that like dried kibble state. So they do, and how do they do that? They do it with using a lot of heat and a lot of processing, and with that heat, with those high levels of heat to convert that beautiful fresh food into dried kibble, there's a lot of nutrient loss, or there can be a lot of nutrient loss. So then what they do is once they've cooked all of this food, they're going to add some synthetic supplements, some minerals and some vitamins to help put back in what has been lost through the processing process. So essentially, this means that the food is very processed. There's potentially an inability or a reduced ability to absorb the nutrients from the food. Generally speaking, our body does perform better. Our body does absorb better nutrients that are derived from food as opposed to nutrients that have been created in a laboratory, which that's how synthetic vitamins and minerals are made. So puppies and kittens need supportive nutrients in their diet from as soon as they've been weaned. Obviously, before they get weaned, they're getting everything they need, hopefully, from their mother. But once they're weaned, then it's the human's responsibility to make sure that we're giving them food that provides them with all the nutrients that they need. So these are the kinds of nutrients that help to support growth. They're also protective nutrients to extend a healthy life and to prevent degenerative disease. The best way to ensure that your puppy's food or your kitten's food is getting all of these nutrients is by feeding a fresh, real, natural food diet. So it's not very different to what you would feed an adult cat or dog. Obviously, there are different requirements for a young cat or dog. As I said, we want to ensure that they are growing properly, healthily, that we're going to be feeding food that's going to help them to avoid degenerative disease. And you can read a bit more about this in my pet nutrition Q&A that I posted up the other day, and that talks about feeding, whether you're feeding your pet at the right life stage. So it goes through about the importance of feeding your puppy and kitten the right kind of foods, and also your senior cats and dogs. So yeah, rather than feeding that highly processed food that you would buy from the vet when you go and when you first go and get your kitten or puppy to get their vaccines and things like that, have a think about or look into a more species appropriate diet, a diet that is actually going to provide them with the nutrients they need, not a highly processed diet. So how can I help you with that? I do have a program. It's called I forgot the name, but it is a program catered for puppies and kittens. It's the Kitten Care and Puppy Wellness Program. So that program is designed to ensure that you know exactly what food to feed your cat and dog, and that you have the support of a qualified pet nutritionist and animal naturopath. That is me. So you can find out more about that program. I'll put, if you're watching this on Instagram, you can find the link in my bio. And if you're watching this on other social media channels, Facebook, LinkedIn, you can see that the link to that program in the comment below. But yeah, tips to remember: don't automatically think that food from the vet is going to be the best food for your cat or for your kitten or for your puppy. think outside the box, research it, look at, think about the own food that you're feeding yourself. It's not hopefully it's not, highly processed food, but what's the food that's going to support longevity and good health? That's going to be fresh food, food that is natural for a cat and dog to eat, food that it provides them with the nutrients they need to thrive. And obviously with puppies and kittens, that's to help extend healthy life, to prevent degenerative disease, and to support healthy growth. So that's all I have to say today. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.